So, guys, we are here taking a look at the game Body Cam. And so I'm seeing this for the first time. If you guys know, I am a somewhat of a content creator. Just starting to get into the whole production thing again. But let's look at Body Cam. Because if you watch my channel, you know I'm into firearms, and you also know that I play Call of Duty. I love first person shooters, and Call of Duty is pretty much the only thing that I, that I actually play on my downtime. I like to get a couple rounds in on Rebirth Island. So without further ado, let's get into this. Wow, this is hyper realistic, man. This is super realistic. What? So just off the rip, this is pretty cool. If you guys fire firearms before, you know that playing Call of Duty and just going full auto and have the sights stay on your target is not how real life works. This is not close, like hyper realistic, because especially if you're moving and you're sweating and you're running, if you've ever done any run and drill, you know it's not easy to steady that thing and shoot. So it's still a little kind of off, but it's as realistic as I've ever seen it so far. The lighting and the shadows are pretty good. Is that like, oh, the enemy's using, oh, I guess the enemy is using the enemy is using drones to see where they're at. The texture on the guns are pretty nice too. If you can look, if you've ever had like a AK-74, I have a Polish Tanto. It was an AK-74, and it comes with Bakelite furniture. That furniture looks just like the Bakelite furniture. That little kind of anodized, kind of like washed out gray look on the on right here on the gas block, and this little area right here beyond the handguard looks so realistic, man. It's pretty cool. And from what I heard, the it's two developers. I think one's 17 and one's 22. The lighting is so nice though. How it goes from dark to light to the shading is very good. How they did this, I really love to know. And that's what it looks like looking through a red dot. Who's ever shot a red dot know it gets kind of bright sometime, especially in dark areas. When you're looking through your red dot, that little, even on the lowest setting, that dot is bright. It gets bright like that. So even a red dot with the lowest intensity emitter starts to look really bright in dark areas. You can hear the guy breathing too. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to watch, man. This is crazy. Allow It's kind of quiet because everybody's probably sneaking around. It's pretty cool stuff. Unlike in Call of Duty, where you're breaching corners and you're hauling ass and you're sliding on your side with the baseball slide, and getting right up and get into a gunfight and sliding again. This is on the money. You have to take your time. So I can see where this game is. Ooh, oh, you dropped that guy. I like how they kind of blot out the victim's face as though you know the person. That is pretty cool, man. Even the flash from the muzzle is pretty nice. Oh, the shooter got down and you start back over. I like if this game is coming out. I hope this is not the only map they have. That they hope they have multiple maps outside. Ooh, that looks so realistic while ago. Again, as if you guys ever done any kind of night shooting, you know it's pretty realistic. Gotta watch for shadows because your enemy can see your shadows when you're coming through. You might think it's only. I like how this guy kind of like stood up because he didn't want to point the gun at his partner. That was pretty cool. I love this, man. This is pretty nice. This is pretty groundbreaking. You- that's how people hide in real life, in real cubbies, real darkness, real gritty backgrounds. I guess this is a a disarm kind of gameplay. So this is pretty cool, man. This game is pretty cool. You're shooting in the dark. Muzzle flash give you away. Turn on your light and you turn it back off because you can't keep that on all the time. There's a lot of guessing. If you've done any shoot house or tactical shooting, you know that's how it works. And it's super difficult too because you got to make sure of awareness of where your teammates are. You don't want to just be swinging that gun and everything that move you kill. This is hyper realistic, guys. I am really feeling this game. I really am. Listen to the sound. Oh, you're shooting across the hallway. That is pretty neat, man. Look at the covering on the car, the snow going outside. This is the communication between teams. Can't run all willy nilly. You really gotta. So this game is not a game of distance. It's more of a game of steps. Meaning that unlike Call of Duty, where you're just running through a map up and down on a rig or whatever the case might be, this is one of like tacticals, a real tactical shooter. Where he got down. That's where comes somebody. That is nice. Super nice. Super nice. I like how gritty the environment is because if there was a zombie apocalypse, that's how it would be. You'd be running through buildings. Look where that guy was hiding. Shout out to Raynet, 620 subscribers. Go check his channel out. Obviously, this is his gameplay. Appreciate him. He's doing a pretty good job, man. You just sweep his guy with a shotgun. In real life, you never want to do that. Your teammate comes up, they kind of want to lower the gun. So it's kind of like teammate up, around, teammate up, around, move, look around the corner. Your finger's kind of on the trigger, but not. It's really nice. So everybody's sweeping everybody. Obviously, it's still a video game. He's just pretty much watching his teammate take shots. Ooh, he was on point with that one. I guess this level is all shotguns. Real smart. Real smart what he did. Instead of, so I don't know if you guys saw what he just did, which was pretty smooth. So his teammate was out in the staircase. His teammate got shot, and that also show you how non-linear the game is going to be. I'm really excited about this game because if you were in a situation like that where your teammate went out into the hallway to take on the bad guys, right? And then you see that happening. You don't know where they're at. You don't know if they're in the corner down there. You don't know if they're at the stairs looking up, ready to blast you from the bottom or straight ahead. So you don't want to risk it. So what he did a tactical maneuver. He went around the other side, went through that little peephole. Let me just look at that one more time. So right about there. All right, let's play that again. And that's the difference between a game like this and something like Call of Duty. You know, like a tactical shooter like this. I mean, you could do that in Call of Duty, but the realism, see, his boy just got shot. And instead of him running out, which I wouldn't do, unless I had a flashbang, or that guy tried to do what he did, come around and then he got shot. That's what I would do. I would go around, since this guy's hiding, boom, and he took the guy out. So now, see, he's going back to the right. Now his team is free to move. So I guess they just won. I guess this is the final round. And I'm going to wrap it up with my thoughts. This is super nice. The outside looks nice. If you have outdoor shooting, that thing is going to look real nice. Obviously, it's brighter. It's less lit. A game like this is can be used by the military for training. Because I think at some point in time, they use Call of Duty as a training. I'm sorry they don't like flashbangs and grenades. Ooh, dropped that guy with one shot. Real nice. He dropped the guy on the stairs with one shot. Or did he? Oh, he did. So he's pushing up on the other side. Took out his long gun. So I guess your teammates are highlighted in green. So you know where your teammates are. That's how in Call of Duty they have the color and their name. Nice. Oh, and look how the guy goes down. And I just want to show this last part. How these, if two developers made this game, one is 22 and one 17, based on what I can hear, this is like stupendously stupid. Because for two people like that to put their minds together to come up with this hyper realistic stuff that big companies like Activision and Leds Lebinsky, or what his name from Blizzard or whatever his name is, that he developed that framework for the game that we used in Halo and all those other games. If it took them millions of dollars, and I'm pretty sure these two kids that made this game, they're not millionaires, or they could be, or they could have more people developing the game and not telling us the truth. But either way, the game is stupid realistic. Like when I first saw it, I was like, I thought it was actually like a video from a war torn area, because you know how those guys, when they're in war or whatever the case might be, they have their cams too and they take videos and post it online. I thought it was one of those, you know. And then when I saw it, I was like, yo, those movement looks kind of sus. So it wasn't like super realistic, but it was realistic enough. So, and then I started watching it. I said, man, this game, because I saw this months back, and recently I saw everybody, putting out videos on it. But it's super realistic. Even just looking at, the graphic designs on the wall further down the far side, on the left side, and the shading through that hallway door, you can see all the way down on your right side, even through the glass window on the outside, the lighting of coming through from the roof that's shining through a hole in the roof in the center of your screen. And like I said, just the graffiti, the gun, how it blurs, at the tip, and the image gets shorter, closer to you. It's just because if you've ever fired a firearm, you'd know that when you point out a gun, there's parts of the gun that are blurry and there's parts of the gun that are sharp in your image, the way how you're trying to actually focus on the target, and then still keep your eye on iron dot or the red dot or the sight. So it is very hyper realistic. The amount of detail they've put into this game is just ridiculous to me. I really don't understand how two people at that age can create such a hyper realistic you know game without help. And I'm pretty sure Activision and a lot of these companies are probably getting up in those DMs and saying, hey, we want to come on board, we want to pour some money into you, and we want to make you guys millionaires, we want to keep you guys on, maybe give them their own little cubby at Activision or wherever, Microsoft, wherever. Give them a little team, give them a deadline, give them a couple million, and say, hey, listen, let's do this in VR. Because if you were to play this game in VR, and the controls are nice and it's super responsive, killer. A game like this is going to be a little bit hard to sell in the mass market, because the movement is super slow. Not unless this is just one map where it's super slow, or what I mean. It has to be open ended, because we're visually you know, like greedy. We want to see things like, I want to see the visual. I want to see the outside. I want to see the shiny things. I want to see the realism of the gun, the realism. We don't really want to play in darkness the whole time. That I can see getting very boring and repetitive after a while. It's fun for a little bit, but we want to go outside and we want to shoot through cars and we want to do, scopes, and we want to see the gun and we want to run around. So there's a lot of little tweaks they can do to it to get it more Call of Duty esque, so they can bring it to the forefront. But so far, the game looks super nice, man, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Again, let's just watch the last part and appreciate how good this is. Again, shout out to Raynat. Oh man, even the recoil on the submachine on that submachine gun is realistic. I fired full auto MP5, and that's how it looks. The movement is nice and smooth, super realistic. The breathing of the guy. So you can tell this player is getting comfortable. Look how the guy dropped. Super focused. Wow. Super impressed. Super impressed. Super impressed. I am super impressed, guys. I am very, very impressed. I can't tell you guys how impressed I am right now with this game. And I am so impressed with this game. What I've seen so far in this game is just utterly like I can't even say how impressed I am. You know, this is just I'm mind blown. They did an amazing job, um, and I hope they get the backing that they need, and I hope this game comes out and it's super nice, even if it's not nice. I still want to experience it. I really do. I want to experience it for myself. I don't want to jump on the hype train and say, yeah, I'm going to buy it because I'm a diehard Call of Duty fan. But at the same time, I love something new and refreshing. As you guys know, I love firearms, so every time there's a new firearm, I want it because they all look the same, but they're different in their own ways. That's like saying all girls look the same. No, they're not. All guns are not the same. So, all video games are not the same. I want, even though it's a first person shooter and it's been done before, the hyper realistic stuff, I want to see it. Well, that's gonna be all of it for today, guys. Thanks for sticking around and watching. Guys, if you guys have not subscribed to my channel, if you get a chance, it costs you nothing. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell while you're at it. And as soon as I make more contents like this, you'll be the first to get it. I'm working on the setup so I can do more videos like this, more reaction videos, whether it be for a video game like this or a firearm that I'm reviewing or something political. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned and support your boy. Mr. Black Mamba 305 signing out. Thank you guys for watching, man, and stay blessed.